Hey everyone, meteorologist Joe Martucci here as we talk about Hurricane Ian, what it will mean for Cuba and Florida, and what it could mean for us here in New Jersey. Now, you know how it is here in New Jersey. We all have family or friends in Florida. Maybe you're watching this in Florida. You want to make sure you check on your neighbors, your family, and friends who are in Florida as we go over the next couple of days, especially if they're on the western coast of Florida. We have hurricane warnings in effect for the western third of Cuba, as well as Cayman Islands. Hurricane watch, as we are watching for hurricane conditions around Tampa, St. Petersburg, getting into about Sarasota. Then tropical storm warning in effect for the western Florida Keys, including Key West, and a tropical storm watch in effect for Lake Okeechobee, the Central Keys, and the Gulf Coast of Florida on the far southern part. So we're talking about Fort Myers and Naples as an example for places in this tropical storm watch. This will only expand in terms of who gets those watches and warnings with time. Here's a look at Ian right now. It is a Category 1 hurricane, maximum sustained winds at 80 miles an hour. This is at the 10 a.m. Central Time update, 11 a.m. Eastern Time update here. Pressure's 980 millibars. So it has a core right now. It's still a fairly weak hurricane, but it has a core. And look at all these water temperatures in the Gulf of Mexico here. We have been all morning in the mid 80s here. Usually need about 79, 80 degrees for hurricane development and strengthening. We'll certainly see that. Here's a look at our forecast on our hurricane tropical tracker. This is Monday at 8 p.m. We were talking about a Category 2 hurricane. It likely hits Cuba, the far western part, as a Category 2. But then it becomes a major hurricane on the other side of it. The land isn't going to weaken it much. With those very warm waters, we are talking about a strengthening storm, a likely Category 4 storm in the open Gulf Tuesday at 8 p.m. Winds will already start to pick up on the Gulf Coast of Florida by this time. Then as we get towards Wednesday morning, still a Cat 4. Now, the question is, where does it make landfall? Is it going to make landfall closer to Fort Myers? Will it do so in Tampa? Will it do so in the Big Bend of Florida? That we do not know yet. But what is known is that this will make landfall somewhere as either a Category 2 or 3 hurricane Wednesday night into Thursday morning. Then as it goes inland, we are talking about tropical storm conditions. We have a tropical storm Friday at 8 a.m. as it moves through inland Florida here, and it becomes a remnant system by Saturday morning with maximum sustained winds of just 35 miles an hour. Looking at the tropical wind speeds for St. Petersburg, you look at those oranges there on a few of our computer models. That's significant. We're talking about tropical storm force winds at that point, 39 to 74 miles an hour sustained. As we go forward in time, we'll take you into Tuesday and now into Wednesday here. A lot of oranges as we go into our Wednesday and into Thursday here. That's significant wind. So we could be talking about 24 hours of tropical storm force winds in places like St. Petersburg or Tampa, or getting into the Big Bend of Florida as well. We will have to see. Computer models mostly in a line of seeing tropical storm force winds at least in the Tampa, St. Petersburg area for at least 6 or 12 hours. So the question is, what does it mean for us here in New Jersey? Well, we put this loop in motion for you here. You see, not much of anything through the rest of the week. High pressure will be in charge. But as we go into the weekend, that's when we start to see some of this rain trying to get in. So this is from the GFS model. This is for Sunday at 12:30 p.m. We are talking about rain getting in here at this point. We are still many days away. A lot can change. But the point is, do prepare for rain, even could be heavier rain as we go Sunday into Monday at some point. Again, we do need the rain. We are in a drought in much of not only South Jersey, but the whole state as well here. And maybe some good news is that our wave heights and wave periods will be on the lighter side here and on the lower side. So not anticipating much in the way of deadly rip currents or high surf like we saw last weekend with the remnants of Fiona. Elsewhere across the tropical Atlantic, we are watching out for an invest area that is west of the Cape Verde Islands. It is moving just to the south at 1 mile an hour here. It's not going to move much, and we don't have to worry about it for quite a number of days. We are in late September, and that is pretty close to the peak of hurricane season here. We are talking about us fairly close to that peak, which was on September the 10th, but we're still anytime between about mid-August to mid-October, that general high part of the hurricane season. So I'll have more updates for you on this as we go forward in time. Follow me on social for more, or come to our website, pressofac.com/weather.